right? A lot of people like positionless. They want their bigs to, be guards. That's lovely if you can have some do that. But I also think it's lovely to have a really dominant force that can play with their back to the basket and stretch to the short corners, the elbows, and if you hone it just right, you can stretch them to the 3-point line. But I think that threesome is a pretty lethal one. If someone gets in foul trouble, I have some size this year with Layla. If we want to, go real big, you can go both of them. If I need to breathe, Hannah. So I think there's just a little bit versatility with that size, and they're all really special players, and they have a different skill set that I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to pan out. But there's a lot of good bigs in the big, though.
Yeah. How much is Ava's team
Yeah, she's done a great job. I mean, where she ended last year, she took off in the summer and just kept rolling. I think she's gotten her elbow shot or outside shot a little bit more consistent. She's embracing a little bit more the physicality with her back to the basket. We've sharpened up some of just the basic post moves. Ava is what I call kind of a little wiry. She likes to move and gets a little loose at times, which in some cases is really great. With a kid like Ava, I don't prefer dribbling too much in the post, but if you have a really mobile post that she might catch it, they might shove her off the block a foot or two. She's pretty quick with one dribble to that baseline with a little, reverse finish. So I think we've sharpened up some of her money moves, and she's really, really worked to become a consistent target. In fact, in some ways, she's beginning to arrive. If and when, and this is even my old job, when I'm able to stop practice and demand that they throw it to the post and that she's earned that. I don't stop practice until they earn it. And Ava has earned to not be missed when she has someone on her back. And so that probably tells you what her growth has been.
You mentioned Strimlo. Has there been any other injuries that you've had to hurdle or significant?
No, sometimes a kid, get knocked a little bit, they're out. You're always kind of worried about the concussion protocols, but everything, knock on wood, we've been pretty healthy. I mean, it's not ideal when you have an ankle, but it's kind of part of what we do. I'm pretty sure if I talked to Corey and Kim and Kevin, everybody's probably had an ankle or something, so you kind of have to weather it. But thankfully, we've been pretty fortunate. Hope that continues.
You're coming off a very successful first year as a head coach. What do you kind of learn in the first year, and how can you kind of adjust and take that year?
Yeah, that's a great question. The difference between last year to this year, number one, my comfortability here. It's kind of like, okay, you got your footing a little bit now. And now I know really what to expect and what emotions that I may face with each encounter, the high ones and the low ones. So I now know that I've weathered that, and I kept a little notebook this whole last season of things that I didn't do so well, things I thought I did pretty well, things I need to do better. So the difference is I feel a little bit more comfortable. It doesn't mean I'm more confident, we're just going to run through it. It's just you've eased into this chair now a little bit, so that feels good. The second thing I've learned is the pace of which this calendar now turns is incredible. I think back, I texted Lisa Bluter. I always used to be on her, I think practice is going a little long. I think it's a little bit long. You get if you want, you can get up to 3 hours. And, she might be doing 2.5 and 2:40. I'm like, wow. Now, my goodness, that thing is like, I apologize. I'm so sorry I ever told you that we needed to go shorter, because you're always trying to fit something in. You want one more sideline out of bounds. You got to fit another press breaker in or whatever. So I've learned that life and time is extremely fast. You wear that pressure a little more. You're the one